By the way, this is the front.
Hey guys, this is Dudes with Fish Pole. We're out here at Ben's boat, and he's going to make some repairs to his trolling motor. He's discovered that this new trolling motor that he put on his boat is a little more powerful than what originally came with it. Your boat is what year, Ben?
1998.
It's a 98 model, as you can see. Cobra, like Cobra Kai. It's a Johnson Venom 200. And he upgraded the trolling motor. So he's noticed that he's had the power kind of fluctuating whenever he activates it on the lake. And he's figured out that he needs to replace the breaker. As you can see, it comes with this setup for his trolling motor. It's 30 amp. And he's got to upgrade it to a what?
60.
He's got to upgrade it to a 60 amp. So we're just waiting on the parts. They should be here in a little bit. We'll see how it goes. We're gonna install this and get this boat competition ready.
Back on the lake.
Back on the lake. Stay tuned. There you go. Standard. So what are you taking apart right now?
Currently I'm taking off the shifter rod, which on the Johnson 200, I'm sure just like the other one, right in the middle. It has a, what size is this? Number 10 bolt that goes right through the middle where the shifting rod bracket is. So I'm removing that because I'm going to remove the entire lower unit. Not fun. So removing the lower unit, you want to make sure that your shifter is in neutral before removing the bolt and just rod, what you call it. There's 4 bolts. You got 2 on one side, 2 on the other side. You got 14 millimeter using a ratchet wrench. First thing I did, like I said, was remove the bolt in the middle of the shifting rod. So just in case this thing pulls out, it's not going to damage any internal parts. 14 millimeter wrench. Take off the 4 screws, and then you have 2 more that go up internally here. I've already removed them, but the one bolt, the first one, is a 9/16. Right here. Go ahead and remove that. 9/16. The other one here, 5/8. So you're gonna need a 5/8, 14 millimeter, and a 10 to do this whole project for the removal of the lower unit. All right. Alright guys, so I removed the little tube, like I said. I don't know exactly what this does. I'm not a boat mechanic.
It's kind of like an aerator.
But it does something. Anyways, I removed it and yeah. So I am taking the whole thing out and kind of have to just play with it and be careful with it. Sometimes they drop off freely and I hope that mine is, yeah, everything is taken apart so it should come out. Yes, just like that. So if you look underneath here, guys. Oh god, I already broke something. But alright.
And it comes out.
Comes out just like that. And yes, it is heavy. It's not light. Alright, gentlemen, like I said, we are working on a 1998 Johnson 200 V6. The issue I'm having is that the lower unit is not going into reverse. So this is not the original lower unit I bought with the boat. I bought this one off of eBay. It was like $600–700. Anyways, when I got it, it stated that the forward and reverse worked and whatnot. And I ensured that when you push the rod down, it actually locks in gear. Push it up, goes forward, neutral as well. But installing on the boat, it only goes into reverse and it grinds the reverse gear. So this shift rod shaft is not the original that came with this lower unit. It came with the old lower unit. Now, I don't know if it's because of the shaft I'm having issues with, or if it's, I need to bring back the original one and put it back on here. So
that's what we're going to try, right?
So we're going to try to figure out today and see if maybe that's the issue, and time it, line it out just right, measure it out. Obviously we don't know what we're doing half the time, right? So
all right, let's give it a shot.
Figure it out. So
all right, okay.
what I'm going to do the best I can to describe what it's like going in reverse and reverse and forward, having this all disassembled. So on this boat, I'm sure it's like many, pushing up all the way, it's going to lock the clutch in gear, and you should be able to turn counterclockwise.
It's clockwise.
I'm sorry, clockwise. Yes. Thanks, John. Appreciate that. You're so smart. And you see it locks in gear. There's no grinding. There's no hit noise. And you see the shaft moving. Right? So therefore, everything's working good. The boat's rolling. Well, God, you need reverse. And reverse is not engaging. It's not giving me the same. Yeah, it's not fully engaging. It's actually going the other way too, so that means if it's going the other way, it's slipping the gears, right? So,
all right, that's what we're about to figure out. Stay tuned. So the first thing that we noticed is in checking for this lower as opposed to the original lower, is a difference in height to the drive shaft and to the shifting rod. There's a difference. There's about an inch difference for this one, which means this one would sit in lower inside of the motor. And so the question is, since it's the original shift rod, this is longer, what kind of adjustment we need to make so that it coincides with the length measurement of the original, the OEM specs. And when you add the length for the water pump base to, let me show you the original. The original right here, this shaft is an inch difference. So that is what we're figuring out, and that's one of the issues that we've learned. Like Ben said, we're both new to boating, and we just learn as we go along. And I do have some friends that are expert in some of these works, and they said that this is one of the main issues when you're changing out the lowers, that you gotta kind of, especially if you're not buying the OEM spec. You'll find a lot that are compatible, but when you're not getting OEM spec, there's simple adjustments you may have to make sure that the lower coincides with the original motor.
So that said, we went ahead and made 4 turns on the shifting rod to see if it would actually engage or how much tension you would have on the lower unit. Now, like I said, we don't have the tool that you need or the tools that you need to fully adjust it accordingly, but we do know it's in neutral, spinning freely here, front, backward. Okay. We engage it into reverse, it locks in, and there's shaft that's moving, and there's plenty of tension. There you go. Going into forward, same direction. We're moving forward, trying to make this thing fall. Sorry, I don't have the best tools here. And it's the same amount of tension where it's not going to slip. It's actually engaging. So
the thing we're figuring out is that it's the measurement and the shifting capability of this shifting lever to engage the gears properly so that the lower can shift it from reverse to forward, because he has no problem with forward.
He goes in gear.
It's just a matter of the level, and those of you guys who know more about this, please leave a comment. Let us know your suggestions, and those of you who have more experience.
Yeah.
And
if what we're doing is going to blow it out. Well,
yeah. But this is what I've worked on cars. I'm 45 years old. I've worked on cars most of my life. And, when you work on transmissions, you usually have similar issues when you're adjusting or changing out a transmission. Especially if there's a difference in the production of the vehicle year as opposed to the sale year. Those of you guys that work in cars know that a lot of times that's the issue. And so this seems to be the issue with this lower transom and this. So, hey, we're almost there. We're gonna try it out. We're gonna put this back in and put it on the muffs. We call it ear muffs, right? Yep. Hook up some water to it, turn it over, and see if it goes in gear. It should click in like it clicks in forward. It should click in reverse without any type of grinding noise I was getting before. And well, if it doesn't, take it to a real shop. Right, we're gonna test it, see if the adjustment worked. It's that good old two-stroke. Throttle. Too much throttle. So looks like Ben, we finally figured it out. It was the adjustment on the rod. We got to readjust the shift lever up front as well. It's going in to gear forward perfectly, smooth, neutral, and shifting into reverse like it's supposed to. Yep. Yeah, looks great. Well, the real way of testing it out is when we get it out in the water, which we can do a video of that next time we go out fishing. Yeah, right, so stay tuned. So to end this video, we'll be taking it out on the lake and, you know, put it under load so it's actually pushing water back and forth and with the weight of the boat, and see how it works. And hopefully we figured it out. Just like any shade tree mechanic, trial and error. And it seemed like a simple fix. It's just the adjustment of that shift lever and the shifting rod, you know. Just OEM specs like I said earlier, and just a little adjustment here and there. There's nothing major, and hopefully that is the fix. But if not, well, there's always you know, the licensed certified mechanics that we'll take it to, but hopefully this way we can save a little bit of money and get this boat back on the water to do some fishing. DTF. All right, guys. DTF, baby. DTF, down to fish. Dudes with fishing poles. Have a good one, guys. Alright guys, right now we're out today. After the last video, I was telling you guys the lower unit was not going in reverse. Well, this morning going to the test to see if it's going to go in reverse. I don't know if we're going to follow that going reverse, or I don't know what's about to happen. I'm about to find out. So, Ryan, save yourself, but back. Ready? We're going backwards, guys.
The smoke signal's up.
Huh? Yeah.
Cruising forward.
Sweet.
Okay.
All right, we're good.
So far, things look good. Well, guys, that's the conclusion of this. We'll let you know if we get off the lake today.